Hey everybody. So I wanted to take a few minutes and explore what we are getting ready to get into with this Mars chase scene. So I'm going to quickly hop over onto a new screen and we're going to look at what we have in terms of files. So the file you'll get is going to be this Mars chase file. You'll get it as a zip folder and you can extract it out, but this is your Maya project. This is where we're going to live, right? Let's explore what's in here really quick. So it's pretty simple. 3 folders, and this is just because I've done a render. Our source images folder, we got a lot of textures in here. In our scenes folder, we got a couple of folders in here too. So let's sort of look at what we have. We have the environment folder, and the environment folder has a high environment and a low environment, and we'll talk about those here in just a few minutes. And it also has a whole bunch of environment pieces. So basically, this is a roughed-in version with a couple of pieces already in it. These are all the pieces that you could use to build more complex environments if you need them, or a variety of environments if you need them. So we'll step back a little bit, and we'll look at our cars folder. Our cars folder, we have a high-res green, or not a high-res, but we're calling it high green car, and that just means that it has all the textures already assigned to it. A red car, which is pretty much just the green car with a different set of textures on it. And then these low cars, we're calling them low because they have no materials on them at all. Okay. So the reason I'm going through all of this is because I want to show you sort of an optimized way of setting this up for animation. So we just finished talking about referencing. Let's start looking at how we could build our scene and then use referencing to optimize this for ourselves. Okay. So I'm going to open up the green car, and you'll realize that my mouse is right on top of it, and I really badly want to double click on it. Really bad, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go to Maya. I'm going to go File. I'm going to set my project. I'm going to make sure I'm set to Mars Chase and hit set. Now I recognize you're going to make mistakes. You're going to do that sometimes. You're going to double click on it. Things are going to mess up. So let's go ahead and open up the high-res environment, and I'll show you how to fix it. Or actually, let's open up the car, and I'll show you how to fix it if you do mess something up in terms of like double clicking and messing up your project settings. So if we go to File, Open Scene, let's open up our cars, our green car. Don't save. And so you'll see what we have here. We'll say this is kind of temporary. This is the model, right? We're going to make a rig eventually, but all of my materials are loading up. But you'll notice if I select like the car here and go to some of my textures, some of them are looking for those textures in a very specific place. So that one's finding them in source images. Let's see if one of these will find it. Yeah, you'll see this one is looking for it on my C drive in my OneDrive folder, right? So this is very easy to fix because I've set my folder, right? And it is looking for it in the right place, right? If I go look here in source images, that is exactly where this file is. It's under this rocket wagon material in source images. Yeah, and it's finding it there, right? So why worry? It's because if I try to open this, like when I give you this file, this is going to break. Right? You're going to open this file and be like, where's my textures? Okay, well, they're in the right spot. Maya's just looking for them in the wrong spot. It's looking for them on my computer. You want them to just look in your source images folder of your current project. So the answer to that's pretty easy. You just backspace over all of that other stuff until it just says source images and then Rocket Wagon PBR. And you'll see like nothing really changed except for this path got more simple. But that means that that it's looking for it in the right location now. And you'll see that, that was a different file, but it's looking at it in the right location. The problem with this is if I open up my textures, this one isn't that big of a deal. There's really just, 3 materials in here, right? Um, Unfortunately, like some projects will have hundreds of materials, right? And so we need to be able to fix these quickly. There's a couple of ways we can do this, but the easiest is to use this Windows General Editor file path editor. And what this does is it shows you the file path of everything. Right? Specifically, if one of them is broken, there'll be a little red X next to it, and then you'll be able to see the actual file path here. So as long as there's a check mark, that means Maya's finding it. It's okay. But you'll see that in some of these, like these seem to be okay. They're all finding them in source images, but these two, it's still looking for them in the C colon users, all that stuff, right? So I can select this, and it will take me to it, and then I can find where I need to be, and just backspace out of all of that, and sort of resolve these issues that I'm going to be having. And of course, again, you want to step it back to where the first part of it is source images, right? Because it's looking for it in your source images folder. Oh, backspace far enough. Oh, that's not good. Control Z. I did that wrong. And what I like to do is click here, drag backspace, and hit enter. And so now if I were to close this down, Windows General Editor, reopen it again, you'll see it's finding everything in my source images or my source images Rocket Wagon PBR folder. Right? Let's get this one here. This one's still finding it somewhere else. I don't know why, but let's fix that. And this should now clear up any issues with this file, with the green car. So I can hit, well, let's close this down to make sure. Windows, General Editor, File Path Editor. What's up? Why are you doing that? Oh, sorry, there were 2 files that had that. Sorry, my bad. I know this isn't, sorry. Did I get them all? Refresh list, still one more. Source images. And then hit enter on that. Refresh list. So now everything is either in source images or source images Rocket Wagon. And I can hit File, Save Scene. Okay? This is actually something that's really difficult to manage, right? Especially if you get a larger file or a file with more stuff in it. So let's open up our environment. So I go to my environment, and we're going to go to high environment. And this has tons of materials in it. If we look at them here, they're all here, right? And there's just a lot of stuff. So if I were to go, there we go, Windows, General Editor, and go to my File Path Editor, you're going to see a lot of these are looking for them in the wrong location, right? So I could just select here, repath the files, and I could repath it to source images. And I think if I just hit repath now and refresh list, did that not work? I have to have that checked. There we go. So now that's in source images. So let's try that again. Repath files. Actually, let's just try this with all of them. I'll select all of those, repath files, and I've just got this as source images now. And make sure repath currently resolved files, because it's already found these files. And that's why it's not trying to change them if I don't have that checked. Just hit repath. So now everything is in the right location. I can refresh my list. Look at that. Worked perfectly. So I can now save this scene. So as it is now, this should be coming to you with very few broken issues. I'm not going to say none, but this is how you fix those. Okay, so let's talk about how we're going to construct our scene. So I don't want to make these videos too long. We'll go ahead and stop this video here, and I'll pick up the next file on how we're going to construct our environment. So.